Hey guys, Butch Hartman here. I'm with Savage Steve Holland. He wrote Better Off Dead.
I did, and I directed it too, Butch, but you probably never asked me about that.
Ooh.
Roll the theme.
I knew it. So anyway, so then I went to the beach for the day, all sad, feeling sorry for myself because nobody got my movie. And then, so then I got back, and I'm like the loneliest person. Like I'm the guy that would come home. Remember answering machines, and if it blinked, you'd be like, "Oh, this is so great!" Yes, oh my God, wait, and it'd be like one, it'd be the wrong number usually, or someone I hate. And then there was like something like 47 messages, and I'm like, "Oh, somebody screwed up." But anyway, I started listening. It was all these like really cool people that were from Hollywood, you know, that were like, "We loved your movie. You're so funny." And I'm still like, "Yeah, I guess I am," but it wasn't supposed to be, but whatever. And so, but one of them was Henry Winkler. The Fonz.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Okay, you have never told me this story.
I probably have.
This is like the Disaster Artist. This is exactly like the Disaster Artist.
Oh, I love that movie. That was
That's great, yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, that was funny.
So, go ahead.
Oh,
So
so
Henry
it's
Winkler.
Henry. Well,
Yeah.
so he's one of like a bunch of people.
Honestly, I don't think you've told me this story.
Really?
I've forgotten
Okay.
a lot of things you've told me.
Yeah.
Great
but
story.
I've not forgotten this.
Okay, so it's Henry Winkler. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I mean, he's like the greatest guy, and I heard he's the nicest guy in Hollywood. So.
Hey.
Yeah, that's what he was like. I love your movie, and it's like the Fonz voice saying how much he loved my movie. So I go to meet him at Paramount. He has this little office there, and he says, "Do you have any other sad stories like that are funny?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess, but they're not that funny." And I told him Better Off Dead, which is this story about this girlfriend that dumped me for the captain of the ski team.
By the way, in my opinion, one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Very
And I
kind
saw
of you.
it
So you
before I
remember
knew
that I
you.
made that?
I do remember that.
That's perfect.
I'm trying to forget who you are at the moment, but that'll come back to me. Jace will tell me. But
Topiary guy.
Topiary, yes.
Right,
Always
guy.
comes back to that.
Drunk clown Topiary guy. That's all I know.
Yes.
That's all I know.
That's it.
So Henry Winkler.
Yeah, okay. So I go
crazy.
to meet him, and he asked me that, and I said, well, I actually had done an outline of this other sad story, and that a guy from CalArts told me I should write into a movie someday, so I was always working on it and stuff, and I showed him the outline. He said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you an office here in his Xerox room. And he put a little desk there, and I was like, meep, meep, boop, bop, I'm at Paramount. Yay!
Intern people, don't
Yeah.
get upset about the office next time.
Yeah, and the people are going, you know,
Making copies. Making copies.
and it was really sweet of him to do that. And so then eventually I wrote the thing, and then I gave it to him, and he actually then took me to screenings of like Ron Howard was making
Splash?
no.
Night Shift.
Night Shift, and he
Another
took.
great movie.
Oh, it was so funny, and it
Michael
was
Keaton,
great.
love it.
And he was showing me how like movies are being made, and
Henry
like,
Winkler's
for him.
in Night Shift.
Yes, he is. He's wonderful in it, and so I went to like a rough cut of it, and I just couldn't believe how lucky I was to see stuff like that. It was a miracle. It was so cool.
Very cool.
And it actually inspired some jokes in my script and stuff. So. I was really proud of that, and so I gave him the script, and he was like, I don't think this is really for me, but I have an actor for you that you might like, and it was Cusack that had just done The Sure Thing with
And I love The Sure
Henry.
Thing.
Yeah, it's a great movie, and Cusack was so cool when I met him. I mean, he was just such a good guy, and so then I just sort of said, well, I have my lead and stuff, so kind of went out and pitched it for a while, and some people, believe it or not, didn't want John because he would just played like a nerd in 16 Candles.
That's true, he
but,
did.
So what Henry did for me was when this company named CBS Theatrical Films was about to make it, and that's a whole other story. They screened The Sure Thing for the CBS executives to show that John could be a leading man and stuff, and it was like, yes, I'm psyched. But that was that started it, and it was like I was going everywhere for 2 years pitching this movie to everybody that would take a meeting with me, and I remember I had like I kind of reached the end, and it was like realizing this dream was never going to happen. I was super sad again, and got my keg out, my bike, the clown, my mom, the whole thing. It all came rushing back, and then this guy called up, and he was like, he had this really big like New York accent. And he's like, I want to talk to you about your movie. And so we went to this restaurant on Moose on Frank's.
He was Jabba the Hutt, basically?
He sounded just like that. He did. And you could tell he had a cigar. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Who shot first?
Oh, man, don't talk Star Wars here. I hate Star Wars.
Oh, no. Oh, okay.
You like that one?
I like some Star Wars.
Okay, keep going.
Oh, yeah.
The older ones.
Yeah. Oh, the new. Oh,
Don't see
sad.
them.
But we shouldn't pick on anybody.
I like them, but continue.
Yeah. So anyway, I met this guy. His name was Michael Jaffe, and we went to Moose on Frank's, which is this restaurant in Hollywood. And he said he had this teen comedy that was if I could rewrite it and maybe I'd have a chance of directing it because he loved my script for Better Off Dead. But I had storyboarded the whole Better Off Dead, like the whole movie, like everything was like I had a big stack of stuff.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, look at I know you liked my script, so why are you trying to get me to write this other one that was like a TNA kind of like
What does TNA mean? Jace
I
wants
can't
to
say
know.
it. I can't say
Say
it. It's
Does it mean it means
Tootie
tarantulas
Tootie
and Archie.
Archie.
That's
Yeah,
what it
Tootie
means.
and Archie.
That's what it
So make
means.
sure when you go home and you see your mom say, I love TNA.
Will do.
Tootie and Archie.
Yeah, they're
They'll
the
know
best.
exactly
My
what-
favorite character.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I have soap in my mouth. Exactly.
Yep. So I talked my way into saying to him, like, here's all the boards. If like you'll know what I'm going to shoot and stuff, and if you like the script, why don't we make that one instead? So he went home with it, and then he called me the next day and said, I'm thinking about taking your script to the boss. And he had a cigar. It was just like right out of a movie. It was like so weird, and I just didn't believe it was really going to happen. And sure as heck, then he said, can you do it for this really low budget? And I had Cusack and stuff, and so we just got to make it, and it was a dream come true. I'll never forget driving up and seeing all the trucks and stuff, and there was people there, and they were there to help, and it was like it was amazing.
It's amazing, and I remember seeing that movie. I was living in LA at the time, and I saw the movie like, who's Savage Steve?
I know, what a
Holland?
dumb-
What kind of a name is that? And but I
Says
asked-
Butch Hartman.
Says, I know.
Yeah.
I have no room to talk about. Who's this Mitt Romney guy? Mitt Romney? What name is that? No, but just really, the movie was so funny, and there's so many pretty notable people in that movie. Well, Cusack's in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, my favorite's Curtis Armstrong.
Curtis
he's
Armstrong's
he's in
it.
everything.
He plays Booger, the guy who taught. He was in.
That's
he was
good.
in,
Risky Business. Yeah, I
And
saw him.
then-
I saw him in Risky Business, and I'm like, this guy stole the movie. And it's like it's a Tom Cruise movie that I just thought he was the best part of the movie.
He was very funny.
Yeah.
He's been in all your movies since.
Yeah, because he was actually my first get. Like as far as somebody that I went out with a cast director said, I got it for this one character of Charles Marr. I have to have Curtis Armstrong. It's like that. There's no negotiation for anybody. I don't want to see anybody. Find him. And then I didn't hear forever, but he was up doing Clan of the Cave Bear, up in like
He was in
Canada
Clan-
again.
He was in.
It's Canada.
There's a Canada
It's
theme
weird.
here that's happening.
Full
It's
circle,
really,
yeah.
What was it called?
Clan of the Cave Bear.
Clan of the Cave Bear, not
Was
the
he,
Care
he was
Bear.
a Cave
Yeah.
man.
Yes, he was.
Right.
And apparently they had to take like a helicopter for like a 2-hour flight to get where they were shooting or something like that.
To get this guy
No.
for Better Off Dead.
No. Well,
cage
actually, no. But
off
in
the
a
mountain.
way, that's actually true because they sent the message to him that this guy wants you in his movie, and he's like, I guess they were in like some howling wind, snowstorm. He's like, Savage, what? He wants what? And so I offered in the movie.
That's
and
how
it
I
was-
got Jace, by the way.
Yeah, no, you're
Same
very
exact
lucky.
way.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
I've been waiting
Yeah.
there for like 10 years, and he finally came. It worked out.
Drunk clown,
Yeah.
mom,
Wind,
the whole
snow.
deal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you got him. He's right here.
Only my
It worked
dad's a
out.
clown and my mom is drunk, so it's a whole different thing. It was a whole kind of the same thing.
Oh,
It's,
God.
we're all kidding around. Go ahead. So.
Oh, no, I think that's it. Oh, no, so they got word to Curtis, and he said yes. And I was like, wow, this is really going to happen. And I
And
got
Dan Schneider. Is in that
yes,
movie.
Dan.
An actor.
Dan Schneider plays
From-
Ricky Smith.
Who made all these Nickelodeon
Yeah.
gigantic hit shows.
Yeah,
and
he's like the king of Nickelodeon.
Yeah, exactly. And then,
Well,
Was?
you got Butch Hartman,
was?
the king of Nickelodeon.
No.
here.
Butch is
don't you know the rules?
Yeah, that's
I know, but I think it's fair to say that Butch is the king of the animated world. Which that's
right.
like saying he's Walt Disney of the animation.
There you go.
I don't think of Walt Disney when I think of like Mary Poppins as much as I think of like Bambi.
Even though it is I understand what you mean.
Okay. How'd I do? Did I get out of
that?
that?
That was pretty good. Pretty close. Hey, that ends
Yeah.
our talk with Savage Steve Holland. We're getting in the cake out with
All
the
right.
clown. What you? I'm dying to think. I gotta think of a clown name now. We'll
Oh,
come back to
okay.
that in a second.
Yeah.
So you do Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
Huge hits.
Well, no, huge fail. And
Oh,
then
wow.
well, yeah, and then what was smart was that the producer said, when your movie comes out, it could fail. And I'm like, stop it. That's not going to happen.
That's
And
insane.
yeah, so he said, what you should do is write another movie so we can sell it while we're waiting to, to see how this does and stuff. And I was like, that's ridiculous. So then I went home and I beep, boop, bop, 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 got by the and I wrote this other stupid movie called One Crazy Summer.
Right.
And then of course Better Off Dead came out. It failed. And then Warner Brothers, who distributed Better Off Dead, had One Crazy Summer, and they were like, we're not going to do anything for this movie. So it didn't do so well. So then
I remember when that came out. I
Yeah.
didn't see that one in the theater, though.
That's okay.
I waited
Nobody
for the
did,
video
Butch.
store. I went to the video store.
yeah, well, the video
Which
store.
was how the old people.
Yeah,
used
old
the
people
internet.
had
Interesting. All right.
Blockbuster.
We had Blockbuster.
And what I did learn that I when I failed miserably was, and I was again sad and walking around and the clown, my mom and all that stuff.
But you had money, you had a better bike. You went to the beach. A little bit of money.
Ish. I mean, I had a motorcycle. Really.
Okay.
This one had 2 wheels instead of one.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh gosh. So anyway, then Blockbuster happened, and then I would go to Blockbuster and see, because I'm like, well, maybe my movie's in here, and I'd look around for it and stuff. And sometimes I'd see it, And one time I took it out, and the guy said, "Oh, it's so funny that you found one, because people steal these movies. They steal Better Off Dead. Like, they don't return it. They keep it." And I thought that was a pretty good sign.